It's very important for people who are educated on this issue to educate others. The easiest and most effective thing to do is write letters to the editor to help those who don't have a clue. That would be all the national media. The Globe and Mail, the National Post, the Ottawa Citizen, Toronto Star. Across this country, the story has been sold that this is in the national interest and that somehow we're ready for any environmental downside. We have to poke holes in that. We have to explain why we're not going to give up. So letters to the editor, and also on social media, for instance, the comment sections on the CBC websites, the comment sections in all the newspapers, spreading the word that way. Second, and maybe it's the first, because maybe these aren't in order, but it's really important to support the First Nations court cases. There is a Pull Together campaign right now among a number of environmental groups working with First Nations, and you can make donations that are tax receivable to a group called Raven Trust to help the Squamish, the Musqueam, and the Tsleil-Waututh First Nation. You can also make donations to Raincoast, and they're also charitable donations. The third thing is, when there's a demonstration, please show up. And we're going to have a walk for the Salish Sea. I say we, I'm not an organizer, I plan to do it. But it starts May 25th at Ground Zero in Victoria and ends on Sunday, May 28th at the gates of Kinder Morgan in Burnaby. So you'll find information on Walk for the Salish Sea online, and if you can join, please do. But there'll be other occasions. What we really, and of course, oh, how could I forget? Fourth, in the election. It's very, very important that we get voter turnout to go up. High voter turnout delivers better governments. And of course, you know I'm leader of the Green Party federally. Of course, I'm rooting for BC Greens, but I think it would be inappropriate. I'm not going to ask you or suggest how you vote, but please get as many people as you can out to the polls. Real change happens when people turn out to vote. Rachel Notley winning in Alberta, which I still think was a good thing, although, God, I wish she'd been willing to give up on Ralph Klein's approach to energy. But anyway, that was the highest voter turnout Alberta had had in something like 30 years. At one point, one of Alberta's elections had 48% voter turnout provincially because people had given up on voting because they knew the Conservatives always win. And when people actually, she didn't have that high voter turnout. I think it was just about 59%, and suddenly there was a real change. If we want change, we've reached to people who haven't voted in years because they're disgusted. They're not all people under 25. When I was running in Saanich Gulf Islands, I met a lovely retired gentleman who'd been prosperous and successful in his career, and he was a bit older than me. And he said, thanks to you, I'm voting for the first time. And I thought, you mean you just got your citizenship, so you're voting the first time in Canada? I was trying to figure out this. No, his entire life he'd never voted because he'd never seen anyone worth voting for. So find a good candidate that you believe in who will stop Kinder Morgan and who will work hard and who is ethical, and convince other people that you know that it's really important to get out and vote on May 9th. Thank you.